Hillary gets more votes. Is that true? I mean, she certainly does get votes. I see people with the signs out on their lawns. Granted, signs and stickers don't equal votes. We see the hundreds of thousands that have been turning out to Bernie rallies, and it seems that some of them aren't coming out to vote. But is Hillary really getting all of these votes? Is she really more electable? Because I, of course, can't claim to know all the facts of how the insiders are working at the election booths. But it does seem that the majority of reports, not all, but the majority of the reports from polling stations have Democrats having issues, and it's usually, out of the Democrats, Bernie supporters that are having problems. So, if they weren't able to vote, does that really mean that Hillary Clinton got more votes? That's almost like people are trying to word it as if she got more people to come out, but it seems like a lot of people came out for Bernie as well. They just had trouble voting for whatever reason. That could be their own fault. That could be the fault of someone else. Someone higher up who might have messed with the settings. As we know, people said they were registered as Democrats when they checked, and then they get to the booths and they're not. You also have an entire media that, while on the one hand they had been very unfair to Hillary regarding emails, they also were able to defend her a lot, specifically on MSNBC and CNN. They were able to defend her a lot, and they gave her a lot of airtime. They didn't give Bernie that much airtime. So, is it that Bernie wasn't able to get the votes? Or was it that the media was covering up Bernie so he couldn't get his message out to get the votes? So we're blaming people for not voting for Bernie, but is it really that there were some people that didn't vote for him because they didn't want to, or because they didn't know about him? So again, does Hillary get more votes than Bernie? Well, is it really that black and white? Is it really in a vacuum where two candidates have had equal opportunity to share their ideas and have equal support? I don't think that's true. Hillary has a lot of friends in the establishment, a lot of mayors and governors and senators who have gone to their states to campaign for Hillary. Bernie didn't have as much of that. So again, a lot of people were exposed to and pushed to vote for Hillary. Bernie didn't have as much of that. Does that mean that voters just didn't want Bernie? Or is it that they just didn't really know about him? Or they were just listening to what they were told by their government leaders? That's the question. Does she really get more votes? Look at this. Ooh, I'm like in a magic wonderland. Ooh, look at all the pink. Oh, my white balance is trying to darken it. So I don't know if Hillary really gets more votes. And then you look at states that voted the way the entire country will be voting in the general election, i.e. open elections where everyone gets to vote, and Bernie usually dominates. The times that he doesn't dominate, those states are under investigation for problems voting. So again, does Hillary really get more votes? Or is she just getting the votes of the people who were able to come out and vote? And were the people that were able to come out to vote, were they only able to because they had an entire establishment helping them learn about Hillary and get out to vote for Hillary, while at the same time suppressing Bernie supporters and Bernie's message? So that's what I think. And certainly Bernie dominates Trump far more than Hillary beats him. In fact, she loses in a couple of polls. And some people are right. Polls don't mean much. They're not always right. And that's very true. We've seen that polls have been very wrong, in so much as just the other day they predicted that Bernie had a 10% chance of winning. 538 did. 10% chance of winning Indiana. He was down by like 5 or 6 points in the recent polls, and he won by 5 points. So yeah, polls are wrong, but they're wrong in a way that favors Bernie Sanders. So I think Bernie Sanders can get more votes.